Comfrey is such a great plant. It's great for gardens, humans, and animals. Comfrey is an easy to grow, vigorous, and hardy plant. Let's talk about all the fabulous things it's good for and some ways to make comfrey products. It is also known by the names boneset and nipbone because it is known for the healing of wounds and broken bones. The French call it consoude, which means to weld together. We have records of ancient Greeks using comfrey from 400 BC. If you are foraging for comfrey, three telltale signs of the plant are the large hairy leaves, prickly stems, and bell shaped purple or white or blue flowers. Look for comfrey in moist, shady areas such as riverbanks, forest meadows, and woodland edges. Comfrey contains mixed phytochemicals, which the plant produces to protect itself and fight off viruses. The catch is some of these chemical compounds may be harmful to humans. Historically, comfrey was taken internally, but now that we know more about the effects, it's recommended only for external use. There have been studies where it can cause liver toxicity and shouldn't be used on pregnant women or infants. There are 34 recognized species, some wild and some gardening cultivars. They are all in the borage family, although they have different genus. Anderson glossum virginianum on the left is known as wild comfrey or blue hound's tongue. It is native to the eastern U.S. and has large, wide leaves and blue flowers. On the right is Symphytum officinale, which is native to Europe, where it grows along waterways. It was introduced into America, where it has flourished. It is an easy garden plant and grows well in zone 3 through 9. In fact, it can handle temps down to negative 35 degrees and up to 120. It's very adaptable. Remember, it is a native to woodland meadows, so will appreciate some shade, especially in hot locations. Mine seems to favor morning sun and afternoon shade. That said, comfrey does like to be kept moist. Mulch around the plants to retain moisture and suppress weeds. Incorporate organic matter such as compost or aged manure to improve soil fertility. And while comfrey likes to be kept moist, it has a high tolerance for drought. This is because it has serious roots. The roots can go to a depth of 8 feet and spread 3 feet wide around the plant. We will talk more about this in just a minute. If you are looking for something to keep the kids entertained on that long summer car ride, I have several activity books. You can check out my gardening and wildlife books in the description. You can grow comfrey from seeds, buy a transplant, or get some roots from a friend. There are 2 types of comfrey commonly sold. Russian comfrey, known as Bocking 14, is a sterile hybrid that does not set seeds. It has blue or violet flowers. Fedco recommends this variety as a companion plant in orchards. Common or true comfrey has cream or purple flowers. Give your comfrey a year to get established and harvest lightly the second year. After that, you should be good to go. Comfrey flowers are great for attracting pollinators. Some people cut away the flowering stalk so the plants put more energy into leaf production, but I've never really done this. I have never had any issues with disease on comfrey, but it can get mildew, so keeping it away from tomatoes may be wise. I have a free download on the website with some tips on combating downy and powdery mildew. Okay, so back to those big long roots. Comfrey is a great companion plant for the garden, and one reason is those roots pull up all kinds of minerals from deep in the soil and make them available to nearby plants. There is one bad thing about that spreading root system. Comfrey can become invasive, even worse than mint. So choose their planting location carefully, and if you have a small garden space, consider containers. A half whiskey barrel would be a good size since the roots do need ample space. More good things. Comfrey provides shelter for beneficial insects like this praying mantis. Comfrey is fabulous for making nutrient-rich fertilizer and enriching your compost. Just take the leaves and add them to your compost pile. You can also make compost tea. Compost tea can be used as a fertilizer or a drench for plants that are suffering from disease or pest attacks. I have seen where people add comfrey to trenches where they grow things like potatoes. I have personally not done this, mainly because planting seed potatoes doesn't coincide with my comfrey growing and leafing out. As I said previously, studies have shown comfrey can have some detrimental effects when eaten by humans. But what about livestock and comfrey? I have given chickens comfrey leaves mixed in with other greens. It's a good source of protein and minerals. A German study done in 2020 fed 5% of the chicken's diet with comfrey and after 35 days tested the birds. They found no liver or tissue impairment. I'll link this study below if you're interested in learning more about it. Goats are another animal I have given comfrey leaves to in small amounts. I say small amounts because I think of comfrey as an herbal supplement, not a food per se. Anyway, I feel lactating dairy goats benefit from the extra minerals. Also, wildlife such as deer and wild ducks will eat small amounts of comfrey as well. So there are lots of great things we can make from comfrey to help with wound care, skin problems, and muscle soreness. Comfrey roots and leaves contain allotin, a protein that stimulates cell proliferation and helps the body heal. I do have more step-by-step recipes on the website as well. Comfrey roots are large and kind of tough, so wash them off and cut them into slices. You can dehydrate them for future use or cook them fresh. Comfrey roots can be harvested any time of the year, but early winter is best if you want to use them for herbal treatments because they have the highest concentration of allotins. I typically just simmer the roots and leaves in a pot, depending on what I want to make. However, if you like specific temps, I read one study that used the temperature 192 degrees Fahrenheit, so just below boiling, and a cooking time of 155 minutes, and determined that was the best to extract the good phytochemicals. So I just cook and then strain it into a mason jar. You can use the extract as the base in other recipes. One great thing we can make from comfrey is salve. Comfrey salve is a topical herbal product that can be used to treat wounds, reduce inflammation, and promote healing. Using the extract from the leaves will give you more of a green color, like in this picture. Basically, you're going to mix your extract with beeswax or something like coconut oil. You can tweak your salve with things like tea tree or lavender, essential oils, or some vitamin E. When you use the roots to make the base, it has a creamy or browner appearance. The roots contain more pyrrolizidine alkaloids, so this salve is going to be stronger and should not be used on a regular basis, but for things like healing a wound. I encourage you to consider adding comfrey to your garden and enjoying some of its benefits. Please hit that like button and help me grow. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful sunny day.